Petra, you're back at Mom and Dad's house again? Next week I'm planning on having Pat come over so that I can introduce him to everyone there. So, Petra, you are really getting in my way by being at their house right now. Hurry up and get out of that house for good. And I am trying. I would really like to be out of this house as soon as possible right now, and I'm planning on being gone soon. But of course, there are still some things I'm not quite over just yet. Not over what? This isn't just about the fact that you went and stole my fiance from me like that, but the fact that you went and made it sound like I was the one trying to steal him from you all this time. Now I'm totally pissed off about that and can't just let things go anymore. Well, listen here, Petra. I have every right to blame the person in the wrong for doing something wrong, right? You tried to steal Pat from me, you freak. Lacey, your English is getting worse day by day. And your head is getting worse day by day, you idiot. You really do have to get over all this. It was Pat that started to like me more than you, so there's nothing you can do to fight that, okay? Also, Pat's already told me he's never going to marry you now since you tried to steal him away from my arms. So this isn't all just you saying that I'm the one who was trying to steal Pat from you? He himself is lying about what happened to paint me is the problem. This is just like that time you threw yourself down the stairs and then started blaming me for pushing you, even though I was in the kitchen on the first floor of our house. But you did push me, and I'll have you know that I sprained my ankle really badly because of that. And that's on you for being a complete imbecile and falling down the stairs. You were just lucky that Mom and Dad weren't home to see it, making them believe you when you showed them the sprain and blamed me. There were already some red flags being raised after both Mom and Dad believed what you were saying over me when you had no evidence. But are you kidding me? Now you've gotten Pat playing along with your lies and are blaming me once again for something I have never done? Well, I also told him about what you did to me then as well, and he told me he never thought of you as such a bully, and that's why he ended up falling in love with me. And now that he loves me so much that he wants to marry me, he's never going to doubt that moment again, and will always play along with my lies. See, now that you've even heard it from me, you get it, right? You don't have any friends in this family anymore, so hurry up and get out of Mom and Dad's house for me. Make sure to never come back around us again. All right then, I guess this is it for me then. I'm changing my plans. I'm going to leave this house today. Thank God. After seeing how you've acted, even now while we've texted, I finally understand it all. Everyone in this house will only believe what you tell them, no matter how frickin' insane and baseless it is. Which must mean that both Mom and Dad are completely nuts. Huh? What the heck did you just say? Are you stupid? I don't really care anymore about what I say. I'm already on my way out of this house now, so I feel that I can say whatever I want about you guys because I'll never see any one of you again, right? I'm going to start packing all my things up now, so leave me alone. Hey, you still aren't out of the house yet? I've just finished up talking with a realtor about signing a lease for an apartment and planning out how I'm going to move all my things there. Well, who cares about that? All of the things you have are worthless to the rest of us, so they can just all go in the trash. Just throw it all in the back of your car or something and get lost. Anything you can't fit, we'll gladly throw away for you. You're right, actually. I'm only gathering the most valuable things to me, and the rest I'll be getting rid of. But it's not like I have much left anyway, because there was always someone going into my room and always stealing my things from me without ever asking. Huh? I never stole any of those things, though. I was just taking them from you. It's your fault for always buying such nice clothing and bags and jewelry that would look way better on a beauty like me. I only said someone was stealing all of my things, Lacey. I never said that it was you that was doing all of it. What? I see. So you really have been the one stealing all my things then. What the hell? You're being a total witch. Just get out of this house already. And I'm on my way out of here right now. Is that right? Well, thank frickin' God for that. Now the final piece of annoying garbage is out of my sight. That's right. I've been blocked by Pat already, so I have something I'd like for you to relay to him. What is it? Tell him that if I don't get my $3,000 back from him that I lent him by the middle of this month, I'm going to have a problem. Huh? $3,000? He already knows where to send the money to, so all you have to do is tell him that and he'll be able to handle the rest. If he doesn't know what to do, then tell him to unblock me so that he and I can talk about this like adults, and I can explain to him again what needs to happen. What are you going on about? You're telling me that the Pat I'm engaged to, the one who happens to work for a very large company and makes lots of money there, had to borrow money from some loser like you? No freaking way that's a thing. There happens to be an IOU that we both signed proving this is true, though. No way, no way, no way. If you don't want to believe me, then that's totally fine. I just want you to go ahead and tell him all of this for me. If you'd like to hear the reason for why he had to borrow money from me in the first place, then go and ask him about it. There is just no way any of that is true. Can you please quit trying to make me laugh at this stupid joke of yours? I'm not going back to that house anymore, just so you know. So this is goodbye forever then. Petra, I have some super happy news for you. I was just proposed to by Pat. And of course, we all know what my answer was, right? It was a yes. We were on an evening walk out at the city center park, and there he got down on one knee, whipped out a beautiful ring, and asked for me to be his wife. It was the most romantic setting for me, and I just couldn't help but come to you with this amazing news. Is that so? Congratulations. And when it comes to our wedding, Pat has told me that at the very least, it's going to cost $50,000. Really? I never expected that you both would be putting $50,000 toward a wedding. I'm sure you are oh so jealous of me right now. I'm wondering how you're going to come across that kind of money. Huh? Listen here, miss. Just because someone like Pat had to borrow a measly $3,000 from you before doesn't mean you get to start acting like he doesn't have the money for this wedding. Would you please stop it with that now? After I went to him about all that, he said he paid you right back in 2 days. Ah, you're talking about that. I'm very thankful that you were able to go to him and relay what I wanted you to say without screwing it all up or forgetting about it. Thank you. He told me that during that phase, he was just asking you for a little money to help him cover some simple costs. And that's the only reason he asked for that small amount from you. So don't get such a big head over that instance. That's not what I was planning for you to think when I thought about your guys' financial situation. So, was the only reason for you coming back to me after months of no communication whatsoever just for you to brag to me about how you were able to say yes to his proposal? Huh? I'm just thinking that none of this has to do with you wanting to invite me to that wedding or anything you just spoke of. Of course I'm going to invite you to it. I wasn't just going to start the conversation with me telling you the date and location of the wedding. I had to lead into that by telling you what good news I had and about how the wedding will be. You don't have to tell me about all of that stuff, all right? I don't plan on coming anyway. We'll see about that. So is that all you wanted from me then? Huh? I really want to get back to work now. Wait, today is a holiday, you idiot. You think I'm going to believe that you still have to work? You must really be in need of money right now if you're having to work during a holiday. I happened to change my career, and that ended up with me having to change my schedule around, where I only have to work on the weekends and sometimes on holidays and during the week. What? You changed your job? And because of me changing my career and job, I am now making a whole lot more money than I was before. What? Really? So? Huh? I don't think you have anything else to say to me then, so I'll be getting back to work now. Petra? Petra, please! What the heck do you want from me? I'm in the middle of some very important work, okay? I need some money from you as a celebration for my wedding. Huh? Is your wedding coming up really soon then? It'll be next week on Sunday, so please give me some money to celebrate my marriage. I'm sure you can give me $50,000, right? Excuse me? Are you being serious right now? You want me to give you $50,000 as a present? You're my older sister, right? I think with you as my older sister, you should be more than happy to fork that kind of money over to me as a present for my special day. Come on now, Lacey. Just tell me what's really going on with you now. I know that you can't pay for your wedding now, and you want my money to pay for it. You guys don't have any money, right? You've only ever worked as a part-timer for a couple of stores and only ever brought in a couple $100s per month, right? So there was never enough income for you to save any of it. That's why, for a little while, you've had mom and dad giving you an allowance in order to have a little bit more money, right? And since you got those two to jump on your bandwagon and hand you money like that all the time, they now don't have any money for themselves to support them as they both try and retire happily. When it comes to Pat, he's working for a very large company, but only as a temporary employee, right? You knew about that? Well, you have to understand that I was really planning to marry that man at one point. And now the reason for why you are freaking out so much right now is because you happened to find out that the man you want to marry is making less than a full-time employee there, and that's really shocked you to your core. Do you know why I had to lend him $3,000 before? That's because while in between jobs, he didn't have the money to pay rent and for food, so I said he could borrow from me as long as he paid me back. And when he paid all that back to me in one payment, he must have borrowed money from somewhere else to make that work, right? He may have said something about that before to me. So when it comes to you having to pay for that wedding, you must have thought he was going to be the one paying for all of it, right? And as for Pat, he thought that since you were always getting money from mom and dad, that it would be the same case here and that they'd pay for your wedding. Am I right about all this? But I had thought that Pat was full-time, long-term employee for that company, so I assumed he could afford everything. And by the way, why the hell do you know about all of this, Petra? I never knew a thing about any of this before, yet you knew all along? He and I have talked about all of this before when we were dating, and we both have friends that I'm able to hear things from. Also, when it came to him proposing to me and the two of us becoming engaged, he promised to me that he would get a full-time, long-term job by the time we got married. But that was all before you came in and stole him from me. If you knew about all of this, then why didn't you tell me? I only stole him from you because I thought he'd be making all this money and I'd never have to work a day in my life again. This is a scam. You scammed me. He's not at all what you advertised to me. He's not even rich enough to pay for a simple wedding to celebrate our marriage. You thought I had any reason to tell you any of that? Huh? The fact that you both didn't talk about all of this before talking about marriage is on you two. Had you actually sat down with him and talked finances and work, he might have told you more about who he really is and what state his bank accounts are in. Also, you were the one that chose to steal him from me, so I just assumed you knew about the kind of trash he is. So why tell you something when you should have already known? But... Also, just after that, you started to blame me for being the one to try and steal him from you before you ran out of the house to him. So I had no way to tell you who he was even. But listen! And just know that I am not going to give you $50,000 as a present, all right? What? I'm sorry, but I'm not that rich where I could just whip that kind of money out and give it to someone who isn't deserving of it. Well, I'm asking you to please do something. This has already caused a lot of problems, and so the wedding is being canceled. But the wedding planner has told me I have between now and next weekend to pay them back the cancellation fee, and I don't have the money to do that. Please just give me whatever money you have right now, Petra. Your cute little sister is in a really tough place right now. You're my older sister. After that, Lacey, Pat, and both of my parents started to call my phone over and over and over. And not just calls, but a bunch of text messages and things like that as well started to come. Lacey would tell me every time that she had no money and then would say horrible things to me. Pat would tell me that he has no money and then ask for the both of us to get back together again. Both my parents would tell me they have no money and that they wanted me to come back home to live with them. I get that I was able to find a better paying job and all, but I do not make the kind of money where I can pay for all these freaks. Anyway, all those calls and texts from me was driving me up the wall. So I went and changed my phone number. When talking to a person I know who lives in the house next to them, they told me that the whole story about how Lacey had really stolen Pat from me slipped out. And then all of their friends and family began to stop talking to them. And I guess that meant I was the only person left for them to rely on. When it came to that wedding's cancellation fee, it turns out that they were able to settle it by paying it off in half-year increments. But even with that, my parents had to end up selling their house. And then they all moved out of their house to a smaller apartment where they would fight one another all the time and cause all kinds of noise complaints. It'll only be a matter of time before they get kicked out of the apartment and are forced to live on the street.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Oh, Kendra, I need a word with you. It's actually really important. You really need to hear this. There's no mistake that you'll end up being single for your whole entire life. You're just so unlucky in love, aren't you? Is this you, Heidi? What are you talking about? What's brought this on all of a sudden? What are you trying to say, Heidi? I think you know what I'm trying to say here, Kendra. You're such a plain, depressing and gloomy person. No wonder no man wants to be with you because you're that depressing to be around. If you had at least half the cheerfulness that I have, you would be living a slightly better life. As for getting a marriage partner, well, your personality specifications might not be that good as a girlfriend, but something might be there that some guy will think you're a catch. You know, it really is a shame that you'll be alone for the rest of your life. Oh my god, I think I'm tearing up with how much of a shame it is. You poor thing, Kendra. Okay, thanks for that, Heidi. Really needed to read that. You just say things so casually, just out of the blue. Oh, you're most welcome. It's my pleasure. Do you really think that I feel sorry for you or something? Oh, by the way, I've got something to tell you since you're messaging me. Next Sunday afternoon, there will be guests coming over to my parents' house. Oh, really now? May I ask who these mystery guests are, or are you just going to keep it a big secret? My fiance is coming over to talk with my parents. He's going to ask my parents' permission to marry me. Excuse me, what? What are you talking about? Are you actually being serious right now? What fiance? Your fiance? That can't be possible, can it? He's going to meet your parents for the first time and he's going to ask for your hand in marriage? He's getting their permission? Yes, that's what I just said. My boyfriend and I met at the same university. We're planning to get married and register our marriage in about a year's time. No way, what? You can't be serious. Is this for real? You're actually dating someone? Like an actual man? He's real? He's living and breathing? Well, that's what I just stated, Heidi. I don't get why you don't believe me. I think my mother will talk to my brother tonight about my fiancé. I'll leave it up to them to decide whether or not they want to meet him at this point in time. Wow, I just can't believe that it's true. You've actually got a man who wants to marry you? Yeah, well, I'm going on a date with him right now, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have to end this conversation here. But why? I'm not done talking to you. You leave and throw all this information at me? Are you actually telling the truth, Kendra? I have so many more questions to ask, though. Spencer, we need to talk. It's urgent. You won't believe what's going on. Have you finished work? If you've finished work, please message me. Have you heard from my mother-in-law at all? Has she mentioned anything to you?
Oh, hey, Heidi. What are you talking about? I don't think she mentioned anything recently. Did something happen?
You're not going to believe what I just found out. Kendra has a man, like a real man with flesh and bones.
Really? That can't be right. She's actually dating some guy? Like a real human being?
Yes, a real human being. Apparently she's going to introduce him to her parents so that the guy can get permission from them to marry Kendra. He's coming by their house next Sunday, I assume.
What the heck? That's crazy. I can't believe that she actually has a man. Well, before you know it, it somehow happened. She's no more than a pathetic, depressing younger sister who somehow managed to get a guy to like her.
I heard from her earlier, and she mentioned that they attended the same university and that they started dating. Oh my god, I can't actually believe any of this.
What are you talking about? What's happened now?
Kendra's actually graduated from university? I just realized that. It didn't sink in until now.
Yeah, let me think. Yeah, she definitely did graduate from university.
But from where, though? Where did she go that would accept her and let such a pathetic girl study at such an institution?
Heidi, she went to Cornell University.
No way. Really? She went there? Isn't that one of the most prestigious universities in the United States? I thought she was only just a high school graduate and did nothing much with her life. I didn't think she could be accepted to a place like Cornell. That's so hard to believe.
I didn't think I said that she was just a high school graduate. Maybe you just forgot that she went to university.
Maybe. I don't know. I probably didn't listen to her when she mentioned it. Wait a second. So does that mean her fiance also went to Cornell as well? What the heck is going on here? I can't believe this crap. It's just so annoying.
Okay, Heidi, I understand. Why don't you just try calming down just a little bit, okay?
How can I calm down, Spencer? This is so unfair. How can she get into a school like that when she's so pathetic and depressing? That is so unfair.
Look, Heidi, this isn't something to get too worked up over, okay? Hey, just because they both went to Cornell University doesn't mean they got amazing grades and were excellent students, right?
But that doesn't make sense to me. It's still an amazing school and they got in. What are you even saying?
After all, someone from Cornell like him would of course most likely be the kind of person that would choose Kendra as a partner anyways. Besides, in this day and age, your educational background or your status in society aren't always equal to each other. You could be a complete lowlife.
Ah, I see what you mean. So they could be just as bad as each other, really? That makes sense, right?
Exactly, Heidi. So in all honesty, I don't think there's any point in worrying about it.
That's true, yes. I'll stop worrying so much about this. I guess I was just disappointed and so perplexed about finding this out that I lost the plot a little. You know, you're absolutely right about all of this. Hey, Spencer, because it's such a big deal that she found some poor guy that he's going to marry her, how about I take a stance on not meeting this lowlife until the day of Kendra's wedding? That'll really stir things up, huh?
I don't get what you mean. Why would you want to do that? I thought that maybe you'd want to get as much information out of him as possible.
Because we are such a superior couple who are much better than them, there's no need for us to see them before the wedding. It's so we can show that we don't want to mix with the likes of them. They're just lowlifes, and their marriage is going to be so insignificant.
Ah, okay. I get what you mean now. That's a pretty extreme thing to do, but I can see why we should do that. You're always so good at coming up with interesting things, Heidi. You're very savage, you know that? Let's do it and put it into practice. It's going to be so funny when they see that we want nothing to do with such scums like them.
Hey, Spencer. Hello, what are you up to? You're coming straight to the wedding venue after your night shift, right? Will you be able to find the place? Or have you already arrived?
Hey, I just got to the venue now. Isn't it great to have a wedding at such an amazing venue? This fella that Kendra's with is super cheeky. It's like he's pulling out all the stops to make it look like he's not such a lowlife. Don't you think it makes sense for a little sister to have a wedding that's a bit more modest than her brother's wedding? You would think that she'd consider that. Of course, this guy she's with didn't.
That's so true, Spencer. You're so right. How dare she be like this, trying to show up her own brother and thinking she's better than you? Even though she's just a plain and pathetic little girl.
Okay, Heidi. I think you need to settle down about this, all right? You're getting way too carried away. This is my sister we're talking about.
Hey, if you don't breathe air into the fire, Spencer, it can get dangerous. That's all I'm doing in this situation. Don't you think that I should do something about your pathetic sister? I am such a genius. I'm so clever. What a successful surprise. Or maybe it would be more fitting to say, what a huge success instead. I can't decide which one is better to say. Is that you, Heidi? I don't get what you're on about. You don't happen to be drunk, are you? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I quite possibly could be drunk. I had a drink with my friends and then came straight to your wedding ceremony. If I want to have some fun, I really need to have a few drinks. You know, Kendra, I was looking forward to seeing a drab and super depressing wedding because that's what you are. I was so shocked to see how magnificent the wedding venue looks. You're just trying to show off now, aren't you? So as punishment for ruining my mood, I'll just push you from the top of the stairs and boom, down you fall. It was so funny. I crack myself up sometimes. Heidi, do you have a clue about what you did? Did you even think through all of this? Yes. You think I should apologize to you, right? Well, I'm sorry that I had no choice but to push you down the stairs. I was drunk and my hand just slipped. I couldn't help but be off balance. And now I'm injured. Don't you even feel just a little bit of remorse? Don't you care about other people's feelings? Look, Kendra, a bride wearing a white dress and white bandages goes so well together. It'll become such a well-known look now, huh? Are you kidding me, Heidi? Is that all you wanted to say about this? Oh, don't get so angry now. Not that I'm scared of you or anything. You're so pathetic, Kendra. Your brother was also in a bad mood. I guess it just comes with being a part of such a crappy family. He's right here besides me laughing at this whole mess. That person isn't part of the family. Excuse me? What are you talking about? Stop making me get confused. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Heidi. Think about what just happened really carefully, all right? You realize that this is a very serious situation, right? Did you notice that the person you threw down the stairs was taken away in an ambulance? Oh, is that right? Well, oops, my bad. It's okay because you're trying to act all high and mighty anyways. Heidi, if it was me that you pushed down the stairs, how am I messaging you if it happened less than an hour ago? Are you still not getting the picture? What do you mean? Didn't I push you down the stairs? So what if you're messaging me after? You pushed the wrong person if you were aiming to push me instead. You didn't push me down the stairs. You pushed my friend, Heidi. Wait, what? Oh, did I? It was your friend. Well, if it was just a friend that I pushed, then it should be no big deal. So on behalf of my family, I apologize to you for getting the wrong person. You can't just talk to me like that. You are so rude, and you need to take the consequences of your actions. What? You? Aren't you brave for not calling me by my name? I'm so scared. Hey, you big jerk of a brother. We need to talk, you disgusting human being.
I beg your pardon? What is with that language? What did I do? What's with you calling your own brother disgusting human being? That's not nice.
You know that I saw the messages that my oh-so-lovely sister-in-law sent me, right? Did you know that the person Heidi pushed down the stairs and that we had to get an ambulance for was my friend?
Yeah, I might have known about that. Well, I'm sure your friend is probably a similar type of person as you since you're both friends. Sad and pathetic, I bet.
It was Sasha Bennett that was pushed down the stairs.
What? Who are you even talking about? How am I supposed to know all of your pathetic friends?
Are you kidding me right now, Spencer? I won't take that as an answer. Surely you must remember her name. Think about it, you idiot.
Sasha Bennett, you say? Oh, crap. Wait a minute. No way. Can't be. She's not a relation of Mr. Bennett, my company's boss, is she?
Ding, ding, ding. You finally got it. The woman who was pushed is your company's president's daughter.
No. This can't be happening. This simply can't be true.
May I ask why not? Don't you see that it's already happened?
There's no way that such a plain and pathetic person like yourself has any sort of friendship with a glamorous person such as my boss's daughter. This must be some sort of crappy joke.
Why would I joke about my friendships? Both of us went to Cornell. We were in the same year.
I'm sorry, what? She went to Cornell as well?
Yes, I did just say that. I suppose I should also tell you just one more thing.
What is it now, Kendra? You're already making me stressed out as it is.
You and Heidi never made the effort to meet my fiance, or rather, you completely avoided him as you had no interest in meeting him, am I right?
Yeah, and? What's wrong with that? If we don't want to meet your pathetic fiance, then we don't have to. Why do we need to meet a man who's choosing such a lower-leveled woman like you? Just being related to a superior couple like us is enough to make you feel at least somewhat feisty, even though you're so boring.
Okay. Do you have the invitation on hand right now?
Yes, I do. But what's that got to do with this?
Haven't you even looked at the groom's name?
I don't see much point looking at his name if he's going to marry you.
Don't be an idiot and read what the invitation says. Look at his name.
There's no point, Kendra. I don't care and will never care about this guy you're marrying. Okay, what's going on here? Fine. I'll look at the stupid invitation. The groom's last name is Bennett. What the heck is this? Some sort of cruel joke? Just hold up a minute, Kendra. Is this for real? If I'm not mistaken, my boss had twins. A daughter and a son. No way! You're not marrying my boss's son, are you?
Oh, yes I am, big brother. It's his son. He was also in the same year as me at Cornell. That's how we met.
But how can someone like him be into you? I don't understand this situation.
Well, of course, this doesn't mean it's okay to push someone down the stairs or not. Your own wife just pushed your boss's daughter, and the groom is his son. With that, it seems that the position you're both in is a bit like walking the plank. You're going to be in a lot of hot water with your boss, I'm sure.
This can't be happening. This is a complete disaster.
I guess there's no need to give any more of an explanation. You've got all the information you need.
You can't be serious right now, Kendra. You've gone and messed everything up.
Now, just hold up a minute, Kendra. You could have told me all of this in advance, so none of this would have happened. Well, I did try to tell you, Heidi, but you weren't taking any of it in, so I couldn't say a word without your criticism. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. This is so bad. You avoided meeting my fiancé and refused to meet him, and now it turns out that you're his enemy. This can't be real. You're lying to me. There's no way that I would have known that something like this would happen if we hadn't met. I wish I had met you without being so amused about the situation. That shouldn't be what you regret, Heidi. You're an idiot, just like my brother. Spencer, you need to reply to me right now. Where the heck did you go? Don't you think it's bad to run off whilst I was in the middle of messaging your pathetic sister?
Would you just shut up, Heidi? You've gone and messed everything up. You're screwed up big time. I don't want to be with you. I want a divorce.
What the heck, Spencer? Why? I've barely done anything wrong.
If you're going to be like that, you're definitely going to get arrested for what you did. It's no joke that the filth in this society are people like you, my own wife.
Excuse me? How dare you say that to me? I'm not filth. You're the one who agreed to your sister's punishment, didn't you, Spencer?
But you're the one who went through with it, not me. I had many complaints about Kendra because she's my sister. I would never go to the extent of trying to push her down a flight of stairs.
Oh, so now you think it's okay for your own wife to be treated like a criminal then? Doing what I did is not that bad.
If you can't see what you did was wrong, then I'm divorcing you. That's why I don't want to be your husband. I don't want to be involved in the downfall.
What did you just say? You can't just leave me when you're just as bad.
Hey, Kendra, why have I been cut off by the family? I divorced that horrible wife. That has nothing to do with me, I swear. And by the way, I have received a transfer offer to Kansas City Town sales office. If I get transferred there, I won't be able to get promoted anymore and I'll be downgraded to just a regular employee who's been there for a number of years.
So, why are you telling me this?
Well, you're married to my company president's son, right? The wedding was actually quite a small one in the photos with a small party of relatives. Sasha's injuries weren't life-threatening either. The ceremony was held at a different time due to the circumstances at the venue, but it wasn't canceled. So I'm now the next president's brother-in-law and his wife's older brother. Don't you think it's odd to be demoted? Please say it's odd and help me get back on my career path. Please, Kendra.
What were you saying earlier? It won't be my husband who inherits the company. It's the person who got into an accident. It'll be Sasha who takes over.
Excuse me, what? It's not going to be your husband?
My husband works for a company in a completely different industry and has no connection to his father's company.
Can't be serious. Is Sasha who'll be in charge after my boss?
As it was your place of work, I assumed that you knew the details, you know?
I didn't know. This must be some sort of lie. I can't believe it. But my elite life, it'll all disappear if I get demoted.
Oh well, big brother. I don't want to carry on with this conversation with you.
But this can't happen to me. Are you all pranking me?
Good luck with your life, Spencer. Goodbye.
But my elite life. No, I need it. Help me, Kendra.
It seems that my brother was having a breakdown, but I just ignored him. After the incident, a complaint was filed against Heidi. As for my brother, he seems to be telling me that he wasn't involved in the crime. However, considering his current behavior, it's difficult to say that he's completely blameless. The punishment came in the form of being cut off by my family and demotion from the company. But what happened to Heidi? They were unable to reach a settlement, and now she's got a criminal record, and she's being asked to pay compensation and all the medical bills. To pay for this, a relative who runs a business seemed to reluctantly hire her. No one in her family seems to be kind to her after what she did. She had become the snob of her family and always thought she was in the right. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.